Every scar we carry, whether on our skin or in our soul, is proof that we've been through something that tried to break us and failed. Scars are not ugly. They are not something to be ashamed of. They are signs that healing has taken place. They are the silent storytellers of our survival. Too often, we cover them, hide them, or pretend they don't exist. But here's the truth. Scars are not the end of our story. They are the beginning of our strength. Scars tell stories. Stories of battles we fought, nights we cried, moments we doubted ourselves, and yet mornings we still chose to rise. Think of a scar as a bookmark in the story of your life. It reminds you that once there was a wound, but it also reminds you that you made it through. That cut healed. That chapter closed. You turned the page. When we hide our scars, we also hide our stories. And stories are powerful. They don't just heal us. They inspire others. Your scar may be the exact proof someone else needs to see, so they can believe that healing is possible for them too. Vulnerability means letting people see the truth of who we are. Not just the polished version, but the broken, mended, scarred version too. The journey from pain to power is not easy. Pain hurts, healing takes time, but scars are evidence that the pain didn't win. They show resilience. They show courage. They show that even when you were knocked down, you stood back up. They whisper to you every day, you survived, you endured. You are stronger than you think. So today I want you to remember this. Your scars are not your shame. They are your strength. They are not proof of weakness. They are proof of survival. Don't hide them. Don't cover them. Let them speak. Because in every scar, there is a story. And in every story, there is power. Your scars are not the end of your story. They are the most powerful chapter. Scars carry a secret strength that we often overlook. When we glance at them, our first instinct is to remember the pain, the accident, the betrayal, or the heartbreak that left its mark. But if we pause, if we choose to look a little deeper, scars are not reminders of the pain. They are reminders that the pain has passed, that healing has already taken place, and that we are still standing here today. A scar is like life whispering to you, you made it. You survived. The hidden power of scars is that they tell the truth of your resilience. They may not look beautiful at first, but they are beautiful in what they represent. Think about it. Scars are evidence that a wound was once there, but it is no longer open. The bleeding stopped. The body or the heart found a way to repair itself. That is not weakness. That is strength written on your skin, written in your soul. Let me share something with you. When we meet someone who appears perfect, without flaws, without cracks, we admire them for a moment. But when we meet someone who carries scars, someone who says, yes, I've been hurt, but I am still here, that person gives us hope. Because perfection inspires admiration, but scars inspire connection. Scars are the places where light enters. They soften us. They break down the walls of pride and replace them with empathy. Because when you carry scars, you understand what pain feels like. And when you understand pain, you can recognize it in others. You can sit with someone else in their darkness and say, I've been there too. I survived. And so will you. That is the hidden gift of scars. They don't just heal us. They prepare us to help heal others. Now, some of us spend our lives hiding our scars. We cover them with makeup, with long sleeves, with silence, with fake smiles. We don't want the world to see them because we think scars make us less. But here's the truth. Hiding our scars doesn't protect us. It imprisons us. Every time we hide a scar, we're also hiding the story of our strength. Think of scars as medals, not stains. A medal is not always shiny or perfect, but it carries a story of courage. Your scars are the medals of your life. They may not have been earned on a battlefield with soldiers, but they were earned in the battles of your own heart. Surviving grief is a battle. Overcoming betrayal is a battle. Standing up after failure is a battle. And your scars are the medals you earned in those unseen wars. Here's what I've learned. Scars change the way we see ourselves. At first, they might make us feel weaker. We look at them and remember the wound, the loss, the night we thought we would never get through. But with time, those same scars begin to tell us something different. They remind us that no matter how deep the cut, we found a way to heal, that we are stronger than the pain that tried to destroy us, that we are resilient, even when we didn't feel resilient. And the most beautiful thing about scars is this: they connect us. When you share the story behind a scar, you're not just opening up about your past, you are giving someone else permission to be vulnerable about theirs. You're telling them, you don't have to hide, you don't have to pretend, you're not alone. That is the hidden power of scars. They teach us empathy, they teach us strength, they teach us connection. They remind us that we've been through something, and even though it hurt, even though it left a mark, we did not give up. We healed. And that healing turned into a story worth sharing, a story worth celebrating. So the next time you see a scar, don't see it as a flaw, see it as a reminder that you have already survived your hardest days, a reminder that you carry inside you a strength you didn't even know you had, and most importantly, a reminder that your story is not one of defeat, it is one of resilience, courage, and hope. Because scars are not proof that you were broken, they are proof that you healed. Pain is something we all try to avoid. We fear it, we run from it, we do everything we can to numb it, and yet, pain is unavoidable. It comes in different forms, sometimes through loss, sometimes through betrayal, sometimes through failure. But here's the truth: pain is not the end of us. Pain is the beginning of transformation. Every wound hurts, but every wound also carries a hidden invitation. An invitation to grow, to discover, to rise stronger than before. And while the wound itself might weaken us for a time, the scar that remains after healing is a symbol of power. Think about this for a moment. If you never felt pain, you would never know your own strength. Strength is not built in times of comfort. It's forged in the fires of struggle. The sleepless nights, the broken dreams, the moments when you thought you couldn't go on. Those are the exact moments that shaped you into who you are today. Without pain, there would be no resilience. Without pain, there would be no courage. Without pain, there would be no story of survival. But here's what most people don't realize: power doesn't come from avoiding pain. It comes from facing it. When you sit with your pain instead of running from it, you allow it to teach you. Pain teaches patience. Pain teaches empathy. Pain teaches you what truly matters. And once you've learned those lessons, that pain loses its power over you, and instead it gives power to you. Some of the most inspiring people in the world are not the ones who never hurt, but the ones who hurt deeply and chose to turn that pain into purpose. They allowed their scars to speak. They allowed their brokenness to become a bridge for others. They discovered that vulnerability is not weakness, it is strength. And they used their scars not to hide, but to heal others. You see, the transformation from pain to power is not a straight line. It's messy. It's uncomfortable. Healing takes time, and sometimes we want to rush it. But scars remind us that even though the healing may be slow, it is happening. The fact that you carry scars means you already made it to the other side. The pain did not last forever, but the strength you gained from it will. There's a saying, what you go through grows you. And it's true. Pain stretches us. It forces us to dig deeper than we ever thought we could. It strips away what doesn't matter, and it reveals what's unshakable inside of us. The most powerful people you know are not the ones who've had it easy. They are the ones who've walked through fire and refused to let the flames consume them. Their power didn't come from avoiding hardship. It came from enduring it, from choosing to rise again when life knocked them down. And maybe you've been there too. Maybe you've felt the weight of heartbreak, the sting of rejection, the emptiness of loss. Maybe you've wondered if you would ever feel whole again. But look at you now. You're still here. You're listening. You're breathing. That means the pain didn't win. That means the wound has already begun to heal. That means you are stronger than you know. Turning pain into power is not about denying what happened. It's not about pretending the hurt didn't exist. It's about owning it. It's about saying, yes, it hurt me. Yes, it left a scar, but it didn't destroy me. It made me wiser. It made me braver. It made me who I am. So the next time you look at your scars, don't just see the pain that caused them. See the power they gave you. See the lessons, the resilience, the courage you found on the other side. Because your scars are proof that you didn't just survive your pain, you transformed it. And that transformation is the greatest power you will ever carry. One of the hardest things we will ever do in life is allow ourselves to be seen. Not the polished version, not the smiling mask we wear for the world, but the real us, the messy us, the scarred us, the broken and still healing us. It takes extraordinary courage to show up fully, scars and all, because when we let people see our scars, we also let them see our vulnerability. And vulnerability feels risky. We worry that people might judge us, reject us, or think less of us. So we hide. We cover up our scars with makeup, with silence, with carefully curated stories that only show half the truth. But here's the problem. When we hide our scars, we also hide our strength. We hide the very stories that could inspire, comfort, and empower others. We think we're protecting ourselves, but in reality, we're only building walls that keep us isolated. The courage to be seen is about breaking those walls. It's about standing in front of the world and saying, "This is me. This is where I've been hurt. This is what I've survived, and I am not ashamed." That kind of honesty is not weakness, it's power. Think about it. Have you ever listened to someone share their story openly, scars and all? What happened inside you in that moment? Chances are you felt a spark of connection. You saw yourself in their struggle. You felt less alone. That's the gift of vulnerability. When we dare to be seen, we don't just free ourselves, we give others permission to do the same. Scars have the power to connect us in ways perfection never could. Perfection creates distance. It says, "Look at me. I'm untouchable." But scars say, "I've been through the fire too. I understand." And that understanding builds bridges. It creates empathy. It creates belonging. Here's what I know. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing to show up even when you're afraid. And every time you let someone see your scars, you're practicing courage. You're rewriting the story of your scars from shame to strength. When you hide your scars, they control you. But when you share them, they lose their power over you. Instead of being reminders of pain, they become reminders of victory. They become evidence of resilience. They become invitations for others to rise. I want you to imagine this. Someone out there right now is fighting a battle you've already fought. They're carrying a wound you already healed. They're wondering if they'll ever make it through. And your scar, the one you've been hiding, might be the exact proof they need to believe healing is possible. That is why courage matters. That is why showing your scars matters. Because your story might be the light someone else needs in their darkest night. Yes, it's scary to be seen. Yes, it feels risky to open up. But the alternative, living in hiding, carrying shame, never sharing the truth of who you are, is far more painful. Because deep down, all of us long to be known, to be loved, to be accepted. And the only way to experience that is to let ourselves be truly seen. So here's my challenge to you. The next time you feel the urge to hide your scars, take a breath and remember this. Your scars are not weaknesses. They are badges of survival. They are proof of courage. They are the chapters of your story that make you unforgettable. And when you dare to show them, when you stand in your truth without shame, you become unstoppable. Because the courage to be seen is the courage to live fully, honestly, and bravely. And that courage will not only change your life, it might just change someone else's too. As we come to the end of this message, I want you to pause and think about your own scars. Not just the ones on your skin, but the ones no one else can see. The invisible scars on your heart, your soul, your spirit. Every single one of them carries a story, and every single one of them holds power. For so long, many of us have been taught to hide our scars, to cover them up, to bury the stories that come with them, to pretend we are fine even when we're not. We live in a world that glorifies perfection, that celebrates the glossy highlight reels, and ignores the messy middle. But real life, real strength, lives in the scars. Scars are not ugly. Scars are not shameful. Scars are evidence. They are proof that something tried to break you, and it did not win. They are proof that you endured, that you stood back up, that you refused to let the wound be the end of your story. When I think about the people I admire most, they're not the ones who have never been hurt. They're the ones who've been knocked down and chose to rise again. They're the ones who carry scars, but wear them with pride, because they know those scars are not signs of defeat. They are signs of victory. And you too carry those victories within you. Maybe you don't see them yet. Maybe all you see is the pain. But trust this: one day, the pain will fade, the wound will close, and the scar will remind you of what you survived. That scar will speak louder than your fear. It will tell you, you are stronger than you think. You are braver than you know. The most powerful truth about scars is this: they are not just for us. Our scars have the ability to heal others. When you share your story, you create space for someone else to say, "Me too." You remind them they are not alone. You give them the courage to face their own wounds and believe that healing is possible. Your scars can be the light in someone else's darkness. That is why we must never be ashamed of them. Because hiding your scars doesn't erase the story. It only hides the hope someone else might need. But showing your scars, embracing them, owning them, that turns your pain into power and your story into a gift. So as you walk out of here today, I want you to carry this truth with you. Your scars are not the end of your story. They are the most powerful chapter. They are not reminders of pain. They are reminders of survival. They are not proof of weakness. They are proof of resilience. When you look at your scars, see them for what they really are: the fingerprints of grace, the marks of healing, the evidence of strength. They are your personal testimony that you have walked through fire and you are still standing. And the next time you feel tempted to hide your scars, I hope you remember this moment. I hope you remember that your scars are not something to conceal. They are something to celebrate, because they tell the world, I've been broken, but I am not destroyed. I've been hurt, but I am healed. I've been scarred, but I am powerful. So go out and live boldly, live bravely, live vulnerably. Let your scars speak. Let them tell the story of your strength, your resilience, your courage. Because the world doesn't need more perfection. The world needs more stories of survival. The world needs more people willing to say, here are my scars, here is my truth, and I am not ashamed. And maybe, just maybe, your scars will become the reason someone else finds the strength to keep going. So don't be ashamed of your scars. They are not your weakness. They are your power.